in a comfortable seat, or you can start in child too. Take a little movement. Start to turn your awareness inward. So as you move and kind of settle into your first asana for your yoga practice, notice how you're feeling this morning. Take a few big deep breaths and notice how that feels. Go into observation mode here. Start to go down a little deeper within yourself to look out and notice your mind, the busyness of your mind and your inner voice. Notice your overall mood and energy. You want to observe these things without attaching judgment or storyline to them. Just observing and accepting, kind of seeing where you're coming from at the very top of your practice. All of your concentrations right here on yourself. And with your breath, making your breath smooth and even. Maybe you started using Ujjayi breath by engaging your throat, giving your breath that whisper-like sound. Come to hands and knees. And start to move through cat and cow. Use your inhale to draw your shoulders backward, forward, tilt your pelvis forward. And on your exhale, round your spine. Go back and forth with your breath. Keep moving here. Add your own movements. Try to choreograph your movements with your breath. Be sure to rock your weight forward over your hands, stretching out your wrists, really spreading your fingers wide. Maybe you kind of lift and come up. You could also walk your hands around, rotating externally or internally. All of your focus is here with your breath, noticing how your body's feeling. When you're ready, come into down dog and keep moving, keep exploring. Walk out the backs of your legs. Use your exhale to kind of lean into one calf muscle and then switch and do the other one. Nod your head around, yes and no, and then let your head hang heavy. Walk your feet forward to your hands. Halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Forward fold. Bend your knees a little bit and hang here. Maybe widen your stance a little bit. Sway around. Use a long exhale here to find a little more length in your spine. Just a couple more breaths. On your next inhale, reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. Take a few breaths here in mountain pose. Draw your shoulders back. Lift your toes, engage the arches of your feet. Pull energy up. Lengthen your spine. On your exhale, soften the edges. Relax your jaw, your brow, your hands, collarbone and shoulders. Inhale, energy up, stand tall, standing in your power. On your exhale, soften. But keep that good posture. Keep your power and your energy here. Just softening the edges, finding your perfect balance of effort and ease. On your next inhale, reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to plank. Suspend yourself here in plank for 5 deep breaths. Take your gaze out towards the top of your mat. Shoulders wide and strong. Draw the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib. One more inhale. On your exhale, lower down. Prop yourself up on your forearms. Draw your shoulders back. Take a little movement here. You may want to tuck your chin down in towards your throat and kind of slide your chin down your sternum. Draw your shoulders wide. On your exhale, lower down. Push up to high plank. And back to downward facing dog. We're going to move through some sun salutations here. Try to find your own rhythm with your breath. Take one more exhale here in down dog. With your inhale, walk your feet forward to your hands, halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. Reach up with your inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa, high plank to low plank. Upward facing dog. You may want to stay here for an extra breath, especially for this first pass, the deeper back bend. And then with the exhale, go back to down dog. Take a little movement here in downward dog. One more exhale here. With your inhale, walk, step, or jump your feet up to your hands, halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. Reach up, inhale. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump back to plank, take your vinyasa. Bend your knees, lift your hands at the tail end of your exhale. Walk, step, or jump, feet to hands. Half lift. Inhale. Forward fold. Reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. Reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump back to plank, take your vinyasa. High plank to low plank. Upward facing dog, back to down dog. Once you're back in downward dog, let your head hang heavy. Step your right foot forward to the inside of your right hand for low lunge. And take a little movement, rock from front to back. Let your hips sink down here and get into your hips. You can even lower your knee for a breath or two. And now we're going to come up for a strong low lunge. So you might need to shorten your stance a little bit. Bring your hands up to your right thigh. You can bring your arms up if you'd like. So now you're not letting your hips sink down. You're pulling your femur bones into your pelvis and holding yourself up with the muscles at your pelvic floor and your legs. Lots of energy in your hands. Relax your shoulders and face. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, bring your hands down. Step your feet together at the top of your mat, halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair, bend your knees, sweep up. Sweep your arms up. Sit back. Draw the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib so you're really engaged, and then shift your weight back into your heels, lengthen your toes. Strong legs. Inhale, stand up tall. Big breath in, lift your heart, and on your exhale, bring your arms down by your sides, coming into mountain. Reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump back to plank, take your vinyasa. If you jump back, bend your knees to cushion your jump. Move with your breath here. Making your way back to down dog. Place your left foot at the inside of your left hand for low lunge. Look forward, rock your weight from front to back, coming into a deep lunge. So we want to stretch through our hips first. You may even want to lower your back knee to see how this side feels. Might feel a little different than the other side. Then set up for the strong lunge so you can come up. You may need to step your back foot in just a little bit. You want to lift with your pelvic floor, hold your legs in place with the muscles of your hips. Gaze forward. Lots of energy through your hands. Relax through your collarbone and jaw. One more inhale. On your exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Step your feet together. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. Inhale, reach up. We're going to take a chair again, coming into it in a different way. This time, bend your knees and elbows, or knees and ankles. Bend your ankles as much as you can. Feel the top of your shin and your foot coming together down there. Then shift your way back into your heels. If you want, you can even rock up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels. Draw the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib. Lighten up through your jaw and shoulders. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Step or jump back to plank, take your vinyasa. High plank to low plank with your exhale. Upward facing dog with your inhale. Back to down dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior two. Make the shape, find your balance, and then add more energy. You may want to lift your toes, engage your arches, lift from your pelvic floor. Turn your palms up and soften and broaden through your collarbone. Reverse warrior, right arm goes up and back. Big inhale here. Exhale, drop your shoulder away from your jaw. One more inhale. And then exhale into extended side angle. Bring your right forearm to the top of your right thigh. Left arm up and over. You may want to widen your stance here, bringing your hips down, getting into the hip opener here. Draw the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib, so you're really engaging core stability here. Then if you want to open up a little more, you can bring your right arm to the inside of your right knee and expand through your chest and hips. Come back up to warrior two. Set up for triangle. Extend your front leg. You may want to step your back foot in just a little bit, shortening your stance. Left hip slides back. Right hand slides down your right shin. Big space here. Reach with the crown of your head. You may want to tuck your chin in just a little bit to lengthen through your spine a little more. Push down with the ball mound of your right big toe. And don't let your right knee hyperextend backwards. Put a little bend in your right knee, holding it there with strength. One more inhale here. And on your exhale, come into low lunge. Look forward. Step your right foot back to left for plank. Take your vinyasa. Take a little movement in down dog. You may want to take your hands out a little wider than your shoulders in downward dog so you can shift your weight from side to side. This allows you a little more stability for movement. Step your left foot forward, warrior two. Add more strength through your feet, legs, and hips. Turn your palms up and soften through your jaw. Reverse warrior, left arm up and back. One more inhale here. Extended side angle. Come into it slow. Use your exhale to lean forward. Maybe your hips go down towards the mat a little more. Maybe your back foot slides away from your front foot. Now engage core stability. Draw the top of your pelvis to your lowest rib. If you want to expand, you can use your left arm at the inside of your left knee. One more exhale. Come up to warrior two. Set up for triangle. Extend your front leg. You may want to heel toes, kind of slide your back foot in a little bit. Right hip slides back. Slide your left hand down your shin. You want to feel big space through your right hip, right side and across your arms and chest. Push down with the ball mound of your left big toe. Take a little movement. I usually like to move my extended arm, shoulder, just to see what my shoulder mobility is like. Come into low lunge. Bring your hands down to frame your left foot. You may need to walk your left foot to the left a little bit. Coming into low lunge. Look forward. Step back to plank. Take your vinyasa. High plank to low plank. Up dog to down dog. Sway your hips from side to side here in down dog and start to walk your hands back to your feet slowly. Little steps, kind of using that sway in your hips to help you walk back. So you're going to the back of your mat, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Inhale, big forward fold. Bend your knees, work your chest down your thighs. You can take a 2-finger grip around your big toes or slide your hands under your feet. Or you can just hang and sway, forward fold. On your next inhale, reach up. Step your right foot forward for pyramid pose. We're just, you want to make sure your toes and your hips are facing the front edge of your mat. Inhale, length. Put a little bend in your right knee. Come forward and down with your exhale for pyramid. You want to feel a big stretch in the back of your right leg. Draw your left hip forward and down. Shift your weight from front foot to back foot. See what you can find here. You can reach out in front of you. You can let your head and arms kind of hang heavy or even round your back. We're going to take revolved pyramid now. So lengthen your spine and put your left fingertips down on the mat in front of your face. Twist to your right. Inhale, length. Exhale, twist. You can bring your right arm up if you'd like. Or you can keep your right hand on your hip. One more inhale here. On your exhale, bring your right hand down. Step your feet together, halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. Reach up with your inhale. Setting up for pyramid on the other side. Step your left foot forward. Hips and toes are pointing towards the front edge of your mat. On an exhale, you're going to come forward and down. Put a little bend in your left knee. And fold over your left leg. Start to play around with drawing your right hip forward and down. One more exhale here. On your inhale, lengthen your spine, set up for revolved. You can kind of tense your hand or plant your hands under your face, twist to your left. Inhale, lengthen, twist. Keep breathing here. I know in twists it's kind of difficult. Take as deep a breath as you can. Use your breath to find a little more space. Inhale, length. Exhale. Look up towards the ceiling or towards your left thumb. On your next exhale, bring your left hand down. Step your feet together, halfway lift. Forward fold. Reach up. Exhale your arms down by your sides. You're going to take tree now. So shift your weight onto your right foot. Push down with your right foot, engage your right glutes, lift your pelvic floor, stand up tall, shoulders back, and bring your left foot up the inside of your right leg. You could bring your arms into a low V or hands at heart center. Eventually, you may want to take your arms up. Let your mind go blank here. Keep your awareness focused on your smooth and even breath. You're using drishti, a relaxed gaze point. You're staring through something in front of you that's not moving. Take another breath or two, and then gently step out of it with balance and control. Take a little movement. And step on your left foot, set up for tree. Push down with your left foot, feel the strength in your left leg. Allow for stillness in your mind here. There's lots of focus, right? You're using the focused gaze, and you're using focused breath. Nothing else to think about here. Out of it. Take a little movement, let it go, let the tension go. Take a sip of water, and then make your way to mountain pose towards the top of your mat. On your inhale, reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Hold. Take a couple breaths here in forward fold. Halfway lift on an inhale. Step back to plank. Side plank. Plant your right hand. You may want to lower your right knee. Maybe you stack your left foot on top of right. Left arm up. You can take a little movement here. You can bring your left arm up by your left ear and really lift your left hip. Left hip up towards the ceiling. Come back to high plank. Change sides. Plant your left hand. Sweep your right arm up. You may want to lower your left knee. Take a little movement. Keep your breath smooth and even. Come back to high plank and lower yourself down. Cobra. Hands are right in by your chest. Squeeze your elbows towards each other across your back. Press the tops of your feet down. Feel your chest up off the mat. Look forward. Draw your shoulder blades together. Strengthen your back. Lift. You can kind of use your hands to pull your chest forward while you squeeze your shoulder blades together, or you can hover your hands. Strengthen your back. Keep your breath smooth. Press down with the tops of your feet. One more inhale. And on your exhale, lower down. Bring your forehead down. Tuck your chin into your chest. Take a breath here. Just relax. Take your left arm straight out for shoulder roll. Use your right hand to guide yourself back. One more exhale. Come back onto the front side of your body. Change sides. Take your right arm out. Roll yourself back. One more inhale. Big deep breath. And on your exhale, come back onto the front side of your body. Push up to hands and knees. For kneeling dog, keep your hips stacked above your knees. Knees are hip width apart. Walk your hands out in front of you. Lower your chest, chin, or forehead down towards the mat. On your next inhale, rise up. Make your way to down dog. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand, setting up for lizard. Start to lower your back knee. You can roll out to the outside edge of your right foot. You can turn your foot out. Depending on the shape of your hip, you may get a better stretch if you keep your foot planted. But you want to start to open your right hip. So let your right knee go out. You can even, you want to let your hips sink down so you're feeling a stretch in the front of your left hip. You can stay upright, maybe even bringing your right hand to your right knee, kind of looking back over your right shoulder. You could lower down to your forearms here. And you can rock from side to side. Feel it all around opening in your right hip. Front of your left hip is stretching because you're letting your left hip sink forward and down. Take a little movement, do your work here. Keep all of your awareness focused right here, what you're feeling. Try flexing your right foot and spreading your right toes. Couple more breaths. Prepare for plank. So you want to plant your hands, tuck your back toes, lift your back leg, step your right foot back to plank, and then exhale up for down dog. Once you're up in downward dog, you may want to lift your right leg up and open up, maybe pointing your right knee up towards the ceiling. Take a little movement here. Coming in back to down dog. From down dog, we're going to take lizard on the other side. So step your left foot forward to the outside of your left hand. Lower your back knee. Start to move and explore very slowly. You want to open up your left hip. So maybe you turn your left toes out or let your left knee go out. And rock from side to side or even look back over each shoulder. Let the front of your right hip stretch because you're letting your hip sink down. Maybe you lower down to your forearms eventually. Couple more breaths here. Prepare to step back into plank. Tuck your back toes, plant your hands, lift your back leg really strong. Step your left foot back for plank and go back to down dog. Lift your left leg for three-legged dog. Take it up. You can open your left hip or bend your left knee. Just do it slowly. From down dog, walk your feet forward to your hands. Have a seat. Take your legs out into like a wide V shape. You're gonna take a wide-legged forward fold here. So take your legs out as wide as you can, and then kind of pull back on your thighs and root down with your sitting bones. So you're already starting to kind of lean forward, rooting down, distributing the weight evenly through your sitting bones. Flex your feet, point your toes up, and then start to hinge at the hips. You want to lead with your chest, so coming down a little bit, you can use your hands in front of you. You could even put a pillow or a bolster in front of you. You want to come down with a long spine. Inhale, length. Exhale, lead with your chest and come down. Inhale, length. Exhale, come down. Just come down as far as you can with a long spine. And then you can start to round and get a little heavier, maybe letting your head round down towards the floor. You want to feel this through your hips. If you start to round your spine and you lose the stretch through your hips and it just becomes a back stretch, come back up a little higher and go back to the long spine. Feel free to kind of move over to one leg and then the other if you want to create a little movement and explore. Couple more breaths. Use your exhale to get a little heavier here. Relax a little more with each exhale. On your inhale, rise up. Bring your feet together, lift your legs, boat. Balance on your tailbone, on your sacrum. Engage your core. See if you can draw your shoulder blades together on your back. So usually when our core engages, we want to round forward and round our shoulders forward. See if you can draw your shoulders back. Lift your legs, lift your arms, reach. One more inhale, and on your exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down to laying back. For bridge, step your feet up towards your glutes. Lift your hips. You want to make sure your toes and knees are pointing towards the front edge of your mat. Once your hips are up, grab your hands under your body and then rock them side to side. Get your arms under your back, puffing up your chest. Use your arms under you to lever yourself up a little higher. Inhale, lift your hips up high. Exhale, push down into the mat with your feet. Take a couple more breaths like that. Inhaling your hips up, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, push down with your feet. Now come up onto your balls of your feet. Lift your heels. Take one more inhale here. And on your exhale, start to lower yourself down from your neck to your hips, nice and slow, one vertebrae at a time. We came up onto the balls of our feet to give ourselves a little more space for that. Once your hips are down, bring the soles of your feet together and rest in reclining butterfly. Soles of your feet come together, knees go out, just rest here. Take a few breaths. Think about what kind of inversion you feel like taking today. We're going to do an inversion next. You may want to tuck a bolster under your hips. You may want to go over to the wall and put your feet up the wall or legs up the wall or up on a couch or a chair. When you're ready, take your inversion. If you want to do shoulder stand, you're going to roll up on your shoulders using your arms behind you for support. Just like we did in bridge, you want to get your arms behind your back to support yourself.
Take deep breaths here, long exhales. You want to try to relax as much as you can in your inversion. Gently start to lower yourself down with control. Lower your left leg down to the mat. Hug your right knee up and in. Give it a good squeeze in and up. Supine twist. Guide your knee across your body. You can stretch your right arm out. If you want a deeper twist, you may want to wiggle your shoulders to the left a little bit, stacking your shoulders over your hips. On your next inhale, bring your right knee back to center. Give it a good hug in, centering yourself on the mat, and then lower your right leg. Hug your left knee in and up. Give it a good squeeze, as high as you can, in as close as you can. Arms are strong here. And then go into supine twist. Guide it across your body. You can stretch your left arm out. Relax into the twist. Take as deep of a breath as you can. Big deep breath. And on your next inhale, bring your knee back to center. Give it another squeeze in and up. And lower your left leg. Inhale, both arms up. Stretch your body long. We're going into Shavasana now. But first, 3 deep breaths. So use your inhale to reach. Use your exhale to relax and breathe out through your mouth. Take another breath like this. Inhale, reach, spread your fingers, point your toes. Exhale, breathe out through your mouth, push all the air out of your lungs, and relax your body. One more. Inhale, reach. Hold your breath at the top. Clench your hands into fists, scrunch your face, tighten up every muscle in your body, and on your exhale, lower your arms down by your sides for Shavasana. Tuck your shoulder blades together under your back. Wiggle your fingers and toes, kind of rock your arms and legs long and loose. And allow your body to become completely still for the next few minutes.
Begin to deepen your breath and gently rock your head over to one side, massaging your scalp really slowly. Come back to your center, go the other way. Take a little more movement with your body and then make your way up to a cross-legged seat or any comfortable seat for you to end your practice. Thank you for joining me for yoga today. Love to you. Take care of yourself. Thank you.